if you're jumping on, that'd be great. All right, well, fantastic. Christy, thank you so much for having me on the call today. Definitely excited to be here with you. For those of you who don't know who I am or what I do, I work at Beachbody Corporate. I'm in the sales team, joining you here from Utah, just on the other side of this wall. That's Jeff Hill's office, where you can see the beautiful mountains here, the nice spring weather we've got going on. My job is to work with the 3 through 8 star coaches. So what I do with the 3 through 8 star coaches is I sit down and I talk with them. I talk with them about how their team is doing and where they're wanting to go, what their goals are, and I help them push towards achieving those goals, whether that's becoming an elite coach or rank advancing or making more income. So it's my goal to really help you guys hit your goals. I used to work in the West region. I used to work with the diamonds through 3 stars there. So I've kind of had some experience with coaches throughout the spectrum. And when I go to different cities and meet with coaches, oftentimes I'll meet with emeralds and diamonds and all sorts of people about how to build their businesses. So Christy asked if I'd be willing to do a team call for you guys. And I said, for sure, because Christy's fantastic. And I'll do, just about whatever for her. So I'm glad to be here with you. And honestly, I feel like birds of a feather flock together. So if Christy's a good person, I think that you guys ought to be an awesome team as well. So let's go ahead and jump into really the thick of things. I wanted to start things off just by asking you guys a quick question. It's going to sound a little bit silly, but why Team Beachbody? Why are you guys coaching? It's a question that you guys should obviously ask yourselves. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you should say, okay, why am I hitching my horse to this wagon, so to speak? I'm from Idaho, if you can't tell. But what I'm just going to tell you guys honestly is there's a motivational speaker that I truly, truly love. He's an amazing guy. His name was Frank Barrett. And he would always tell me this. He would say, Joe, in life, if you can find a wound and fill it, find a need and I'm messing this up. Sorry. Let me do this again. Find a need and fill it, find a wound and heal it, and you'll be a rich person. So what I'll tell you guys out there right now, there's so many people that are waiting for you to help change their lives. In this business, we have the ability to fill all of these needs. They can be emotional needs, they can be physical needs, they can be financial needs, they can be, all sorts of different needs out there. But through what you guys are offering as coaches, you make a difference and you can change people's lives. You have the ability to really go out there and do great things. That's why you should be part of Team Beachbody. And honestly, if you were to look at the trend of obesity here in this country, it's never been higher in the history of the United States. There's never been a more opportune moment really out there to be able to help people. And that's not all. It's not only that people are, really needing our products. It's the fact that the social expectation that you should look like this, like the very top of the pinnacle, has never been higher, yet where we're actually at has never been lower, right? And what the difference is you guys. There's a lot of other companies out there who have great nutritional products. There's a lot of other companies out there who have great workout programs. So what makes us different here at Team Beachbody? What makes us different here at Team Beachbody is literally you guys. It's the peer support that you guys offer. We offer fitness, like amazing fitness, amazing nutrition, but really you guys offer the peer support that gets people through those tough times. You can have the most amazing programs, the most amazing meal plans, the most amazing workouts, all that stuff. But if you're not willing to do it or you don't stay consistent, your physical fitness results are not going to grow. You're not going to get the results you're really looking for. But the peer support that you guys offer helps people stay on the wagon even when the road gets bumpy. And as you guys all know, it always is going to get bumpy, right? There's always going to be times where you don't feel like working out, when you don't feel like eating clean, all those different things. So what I'm trying to say here, honestly, is there's never been a better time to be involved with Team Beachbody than now. We've got amazing new products coming out. We've got amazing new um, programs. We've got a target-rich environment with people who really need and want our programs. Who doesn't want to look healthier or feel healthier or look better, or have maybe a little bit extra funds available to go on a family vacation, or maybe renovate their house or do something like that? Who doesn't want to have that? Everybody wants it, right? So here's the difference. In this business, there's so many different, in the fitness business, there's so many different people out there that are, and companies out there that are really offering solutions that don't work, right? They're scams. Like, you've got the shake weight and you've got these silly things that really are not going to change, their lives. So their level of trust is very low in anybody offering fitness solutions. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today really was how to achieve your goals in coaching. And a big part of that is going to be building trust and duplication, right? If there was one thing that you walked away from this call today it would be the idea of, building trust with people and being able to duplicate that with your team. All right. So let's talk a little bit about, how we can build trust with people, how we can start to influence people in a big time way and really get people into your challenge groups, and then transition those challengers, over to coaches and leaders and all of those things. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm going to share my screen while I do it. So what I want you guys to really see here is there is a numbers aspect to this business. The more people that you help in this business, the more money that you'll make. That's just the way it goes, right? So you need to think that as you go out there, you have to really focus on helping people get phenomenal results. So let's talk a little bit about how we get those challengers in your pipeline. As I showed you, the mountains here, there's a lot of canyons and rivers and stuff like that here in the Mountain West, and they have a lot of dams, in the river here, so they can produce hydroelectric power, right? The problem is, once they started installing these dams, what took place is it threw off the ecosystem, because the fish couldn't swim up the river, and there was issues, right? There was problems. So they had to create what's called a salmon ladder. And the salmon ladder, or fish ladder, basically just a series of pools, and they're like steps, essentially. Okay. So you guys have pretty much like the same thing going on with your business right now. That this river that leads up to the dam, enters into your salmon ladder, and there's a wall here. It's like, okay, how do I get my friends to be excellent leaders? They're not going to make the jump from, just friend straight to leader most of the time. Okay. What they're going to do is they're going to go through these series of pools, and then they're going to jump from one step to the next, and that's going to allow them to get where they're wanting to go. Right. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about these tiers. So we've got your friends. I'm going to undo some of this stuff actually, so it's a little bit less complicated. You got your friends, you got your challengers, you got your coaches, and you got your leaders. All right. So how do we build trust with people on Facebook? I was just talking with coaches today on a mastermind call, and I had probably 7 or 8 coaches on that call, and they're all talking to me about their best practices on inviting, how to get their friends essentially to join their challenge group. And without a doubt, almost all of them talked about their invites as a process. It's not something that just you spring out of the woodwork and say, surprise, it's me, join my challenge group, right? You have to start through building a relationship first. And the way that looks, honestly, is you commenting on somebody's posts, adding more friends to Facebook. Scotty Hobbs put it this way. He said, look, your social media network, or your sphere of social influence, is kind of like a deck of cards. And as you're flipping through that deck of cards, what you're doing is you're looking for the aces. You're looking for who would be a great challenger and who would be a great coach, right? But here's the thing. If you flip through that deck of cards and you pull out all the aces, then as you flip through that deck of cards again, how many aces are you going to find? You're not going to find any, right? You already pulled them out. So one of the things that I'm going to challenge you guys to do, honestly, every single day is to start wide. Start with a lot of friends that you're adding on Facebook, right? I'd say add 5 to 10 friends on Facebook every single day if you're really serious about growing this business. So the more friends you add to your social media sphere, the more potentially great coaches you'll have, the more potentially great, customers you can bring in. Also, when you post stuff up, more people see it, right? But as you have these conversations, as you begin to connect with people, what that's doing is that's building trust. As they first add you as a friend on Facebook, they might be like, I don't know who this girl is, but we've got a few mutual friends, or her page looks cool, so yeah, I'll friend her. And then as you see their posts, as you comment on their posts, as you begin to interact and they see your posts, and all of a sudden they begin to trust you, right? But in between challenger and friend, what I would recommend you guys do is look into the free groups, okay? So these free groups right here are going to be crucial for you. As you do a free group, what that does is that allows your friends to make the small jump from friend to free group, and then from free group, it's only a small jump from challenger. You want to make these transitions small jumps, not long hops, because if that's the case, not as many people will make that transition. All right. So let's talk a little bit about how free groups can really build trust and help you guys build your business. When you add a ton of value into free groups, you will transition more people into your challenge groups. That's just the way it goes. All right. Let me put it this way. When you're adding value, I like to ask you guys to do 3 things. I like to ask you guys to put in place the 3 E's. That's entertain, engage, and educate. Now that can be for a free group, that can be for your challenge group, or that can just simply be kind of a gut check test that you can put in place for the posts you're putting up every single day. So they need to be basically having fun, they need to be learning, and they need to be participating. If they're doing those things, entertain, engage, and educate, then they're going to stick around, they're going to be motivated, they're going to thrive, they're going to like your group. So let's talk a little bit about how you can do that. And then remember, the 3 E's are just allowing you to build more trust with these people. So as you're getting on there, I would recommend you put in place something fun, like a point system. You can say if you log your workout there, then you get a point. If you log if you post a picture of a free, or of a, let's say a clean meal that they made, they get a point. If they post up a picture maybe of a food that they resisted, it's like their kryptonite, like maybe it's a brownie and they totally, were able to resist that, and they get a point. You can make it a free clean eating group, a free fitness group, a free water challenge, a free whatever, butt and booty challenge. I don't really care, but you need to be adding value and you need to be making it fun, right? So as they get these points, you can give away small things. Like I would recommend investing a little bit in these groups. If you invest a little bit in these groups and you make it fun by giving away like water bottles or wristbands or whatever it is that's small and fun that will keep these guys posting, it's fun, makes it a good time. And honestly, what I'll tell you is that if you're going to be doing a free group and you're expecting to get enough people out of there to help you get to Success Club, you need to start wide enough at the top. And what I would really tell you is that I would recommend you get at least 40 people in your free group each month. So as you do that, what will happen is you will transition more people from your free group to your actual challenge group. Okay. Going back to your little prizes, you can do a prize every day, like $5 prize for a 5-day free group. It's $25. But if you get 4 challengers out of those 40 people to jump over into actual challenge group, then obviously that's a great investment, right? A cool little tip that I got from Christy Lyons, she just picks 5 small prizes from Amazon Prime, and she will make a little collage from PickMonkey and say, okay, our daily winner is Tiffany. Tiffany, pick a prize that you like from these 5 things, and personal message me your address and I'll have it shipped to you. So it doesn't cost her anything from shipping because she's on Amazon Prime. She doesn't have to go to the post office. She doesn't have to stock items. It just makes it super fast and easy. And the people in her group get those prizes within 2 days, right? Okay, so as you do that, honestly, what's happening here is they're just realizing what your culture is and how, the support system that you've got in place is really, really fun. I recommend you set up the expectations in the free group and in your challenge group right up front, where you say, look, we do have awesome meal plans. We do have awesome fitness. We do have all of those things, but really the magic here is the peer support. So if you're wanting to get amazing results in my free group or in my challenge group, I expect you guys to lift each other up. I expect you guys to support each other. I expect you guys to be part of an awesome culture. And as you guys, are doing that, your results will be greater. You'll get better. You'll have better results, and you'll help other people get better results as well. So once you set that expectation up, it begins to, help them start doing what you would like them to do. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, this transition here from challenger to coach. Again, what you want to do is you want to make it a small hop, and you want to help these people have confidence. You want to help them trust you, trust themselves, trust the process, all of that. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, you can go through and just run a run-of-the-mill challenge group and not, and not really build these people up. But when you do that and you ask them to become a coach, they're probably going to say no, right? And what I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to be honest, this particular step right here, this transition from challenger to coach, is what will make you guys successful. It really is going to be the transition in your business where you're going to rank advance. You're going to, be that much closer to hitting things like Premier and Elite. Your revenue is going to start coming in. This juncture right here is the difference that a lot of coaches are missing. So let's talk a little bit about how we can make sure that transition is smooth. Okay. So when you've got this group of challengers, again, you set the expectations of what you want them to do. Once they start getting on there and they start really supporting each other, you need to recognize that big time. You need to shout out the coaches that are doing a good job of lifting each other up. You need to take note of who these people are. And here's why. If they're great at helping other people stay consistent and stay motivated with their fitness, then they're going to be amazing coaches, right? That's what coaching is all about. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a small step between coaching or challenge group and coaches. You do that simply by asking them to do coaching related stuff, right? So lifting each other up is a big one. Another one is that you can ask your challengers to do a post on their social media about their fitness journey before they're even a coach, right? So you ask them to share their fitness journey on their personal page. As they do that, what's going to happen is people are going to rally behind them, and they're going to say, "Oh, that's so awesome! You're doing fantastic. Keep it up." Or, "You look amazing. What are you doing? That's great." And what's going to really happen there is their confidence level is going to grow. A lot of people are hampered, are held back by their own self-limiting beliefs. So really, what they're feeling in their heart is, "I'm not smart enough. I don't know what I'm doing. Who am I to be a Beachbody coach, right? I'm not done with my fitness journey yet." They feel like they have to wait until they're perfect. Well, newsflash, there's only ever been one perfect person in this world, and you're not that person. We can't wait until we're all perfect and everything's ready to go. So we've got to just jump in there. And asking them to do posts like this are going to be big, because if you tell them that they're doing phenomenal, they're doing amazing, they're going to be like, "You know what, that's great, but Christy's my coach. She's just saying that because she's cool and it's her job," right? However, if they post up their fitness journey on their personal page, and all of a sudden they get all these people, they're supporting them and cheering them on and telling them how amazing they're doing and how inspiring they are, all of a sudden they're going to be like, "Wow, this is awesome. I actually am helping people." So you want to ask them to start doing coaching related stuff, like posting on their personal page, like lifting each other up within the challenge group. Here's another one that Mike Folsom actually uses that I think is super smart. Once somebody's like on their way in their challenge group and they've already started to see some results, maybe 3/4 of the way or towards the end of the challenge group, she'll talk to somebody and say, Amy, you know, you're 12 pounds down. That's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy and excited for you. You've really crushed this. Has anybody noticed your transformation yet? So when she asks, has anybody noticed your transformation yet? What that does is it helps them realize if they've only lost like 2 pounds and they look exactly the same, obviously she doesn't ask them that, right? But she does ask them that if they have really put a lot of work and they've worked hard and they've been, you know, consistent with their fitness and nutrition. So what that does is it builds their confidence, because they're going to be like, yeah, actually, my next door neighbor was just asking me what I'm doing because she noticed that I've slimmed down. Or my husband was like, noticed that my pants were fitting looser. Or, you know, my best friend was asking me about it. So as that's happening again, it's getting these outside people, what they're saying, and it's bringing it in to help elevate these people's level of confidence in themselves, right? So then all of a sudden what you're doing by doing all of these things, what you're doing is you're equipping yourself with tangible, effective reasons, reasonable, like logical reasons why they'd be great coaches. Hey, I've been watching you in our challenge group. All of the girls love your posts. They're super motivational. They're really fun. And I've noticed you've really been able to help keep the other coaches engaged. That's absolutely amazing. And I saw your post that you did on your personal page. People are just blown away by what you've been doing. And, you know, you told me the other day that all these other people had noticed your transformation. You're an inspiration, and you can help so many people do the exact same thing that you did right now. You're born to be a coach. Like, when are we going to get you started? Then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, these are actual legit reasons why I would be good. It's not you just saying, I think you'd be great. You know, it's actually equipping yourself with tools, with ammo in your camp to really effectively help these people make this transition from challenger to coach, right? You do that by asking them to do coaching type related stuff before they actually even get there, right? You do that through helping to build up where they're at and seizing opportunities to recognize them for amazing things they've been able to do. So essentially you want to make it, you know, small hops from one stage to the other. And the same goes from coach to leader. You'll start asking them to do specific type things like what leaders do. You'll share this system with them where it's like, okay, you're a coach now. We got to start with your friends, and we got to do free groups, challenge groups. You know, you got to start recruiting coaches. You do all of these things to start producing leaders. If you start producing leaders, your team grows, your revenue grows, your income grows, your rank advancement happens. So think about it this way. If you were a brick and mortar company, for example, and you owned a fitness studio, let's say, but you only had like 2 or 3 people come through your doors a month, it wouldn't be a viable system, right? Because you'd have to pay for your overhead, utilities, rent, you know, equipment, trainers, all those types of things. You'd have to be able to pay for all those things, right? In this business, guys, think of it this way: you've got to fill up your studio so you can make sure that you're, you know, keeping the lights on, doing all those different things that you need to do, right? There's 2 phases in this business, really. There's the I do phase and there's the we do phase. The I do phase is you hitting Success Club. It's you selling challenge packs. It's you recruiting coaches, right? You can pretty much hit diamond in the I do phase. I mean, you have to have an emerald on either side, but let's face it, you can pop an emerald on either side in a day if you're lucky, right? I mean, they can sign up their brother and their sister and bam, they're emerald. So what I'm trying to tell you here is you guys have to be masters at doing the I do phase. You have to lead from the front, right? You have to get people up your staircase. So you're producing coaches and all of that stuff. But then what you need to do is you need to be masters at locking in the we do phase too. So let's put it this way. Let's say your fitness studio is full of people. You've got people that are coming to your gym, but you can only hold like 12 people at a time in your small fitness studio. that's your bottleneck, right? You can't help any more people than that per hour because that's all the space that you have. So what can you do in order to help more people? You open other studios, right? And it's the same way with coaching. If you want to help more people, and remember, the more people you help, the more money you make, right? So if you want to help more people get amazing fitness results and live healthy and fulfilling lives, fantastic. The way that you help more people is to create leaders. That's all of a sudden how you're unlocking duplication, right? That duplication creates revenue for you. That duplication creates rank advancement. That duplication helps you help more people. But you've got to look at these steps and say, okay, here's how I get through these phases. This is how I transition people from one stage to the next. That's how I lock in the I do phase. Now I need to help my coaches do the same thing. I've got to be great at the we do phase as well, right? As all of that stuff happens, your goals will just be that much closer. I want you guys to really put the goal, if you're not already there yet, if you are, fantastic, but if you're not, I want you guys to put the goal of 2-star for yourselves. And for some of you who are just starting off, or you're maybe an emerald or a diamond coach, you might think, whoa, that's a long ways off. It really can come faster than you might think, right? But it requires you guys to be consistent. It requires you guys to lock in the I do phase and begin to do the we do phase as well. As that happens, here's what's going to take place. You get to go to New Leadership Conference. That's a game changer for you guys. Every single year, it seems like, at least since I've been here, we get somebody who attends New Leadership Conference as a 2-star. The next year they come back as a speaker and they're a top 10 coach, right? It really helps you open up your mind to what's possible for you. It helps you network with other coaches. It helps you really begin to grow. So New Leadership Conference is great. You also get a lot more interaction with corporate. So you'll get to work with somebody like me that's going to talk with you and help you hit your goals and help you push your business forward, help you develop, help your team grow. You get to open up your second CBC. You get to place that where you need it to be in order for you to start making more income in this business. That's a huge benefit. You also qualify for the 2-star bonus. Okay, that's another couple $100 every quarter, right? It's actually a cool little perk. So you get all of these amazing things that start to come with you locking in the we do phase, with you becoming leaders. Think of it like this. You guys are kind of like, you got to look at yourself as like the general of an army of people that are going out there to help other people live more healthy and fulfilling lives. Now, here's the thing. If, let's say Christy's the general of your guys' army. Now, if Christy had, 10,000 people that she's working with, and she was the only leader in the entire army, how well do you think the army would function? It wouldn't function very well at all, right? You need captains, you need lieutenants, you need colonels, you need sergeants, you need sub-leaders, right, that are helping you guys mobilize the army and initiate tasks and complete tasks on a smaller level. And you've got to begin to develop these leaders underneath you in order for your army to really be highly successful and to really do what you want it to do, right? So I'm going to share my screen with you guys one more time here. I'm going to show you something that I hope you guys can kind of take into consideration when doing the business as well. So kind of going back to the different phases of the business, it's really kind of like a funnel. I like to look at it like a funnel. You've got these friends at the very top of the funnel, whether they're friends in person or friends on Facebook, whatever, Instagram followers, all of that. So you start out with that top layer, and that might be hundreds or thousands of people, right? So we have this top layer of the business, and those are different people you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And then we go back down to here where we've got our free groups. So we've kind of funneled those friends down to even a smaller group, right? And we're building trust with even a smaller group to a higher level. And then we take those free group people and then we move them over and we say, okay, these are actually our challengers. So let's say you have 40 plus people in your free group. Maybe you have 50 or 60, who knows? And then from there, you get a handful of challengers, right? So it's even a smaller level. And then underneath that, you transition those challengers to coaches. And then ultimately, you end at the very bottom of your funnel system with leader. And you're just left with a very, small little amount of leaders at the very, very bottom. It's actually more like a funnel. Like it's like maybe it'd probably be better described like this. At the top, it's not proportionate, right? You're going to have thousands of people here. Free group, you might have maybe 100, maybe 200 if it's really huge. Then in your challenger group, you might have just a handful, and even just a couple coaches per month that you're bringing in. And then out of those couple coaches a month that you're bringing in, you may have one or two, or maybe not even any leaders coming out the bottom. So really what I want you guys to really understand and embrace is that you've got to have the top of your pipeline flowing in a big time way in order to end up with a wide funnel of people that are leaders in the end. Okay? The more leaders you guys want to have come through the bottom, the more people you have to start with at the top. All right? Because they just don't come from nowhere, right? You have to be building relationships of trust. More relationships of trust at the bottom, right? In these levels. And as you have more people in the bottom, more people will make it to the top. Okay, so I won't bore you guys anymore with like my lame drawings. But honestly, what I will tell you guys is that if you guys lock all this stuff in place, as you guys connect with other people, as you guys build trust in other people, they'll make the transition from one phase to the next. They'll jump in, from your friend to your challenger. They'll jump from challenger to coach. They'll jump from coach to leader. Those things will take place as you help build trust in other people. As they begin to trust you, as they begin to trust themselves, and they begin to trust their programs, things will take place. I promise you guys. But it takes work. I'm not going to lie. I know that you guys are, moms or dads or, have day jobs. You've got other things, other irons in the fire. It's sacrifice, right? You've got to talk with more people. You got to do more invites. You've got to fill up those pipelines. As that's happening, you're setting yourself up for success. And then once you've locked in that I do phase, then you start working with your team and say, okay, look, here's how I do it. I talk with this many people every day. I do this many invites, do this many follow-ups. This is when I do my free group. This is when I do my challenge group. This is when I do my sneak peek. You start really helping these people along the way. You help them do the same thing that you're doing. You lock in that we do phase. In this business, there's a multiple channels of income I want you guys to be aware of as well, okay? So one of the things that I'm going to ask you guys to do, if you guys want to make this a business and you want to be as profitable as you can in this business, then what I want you guys to do is just Google it. You should be able to find it that way. It's on the Coach Online office. Just search Beachbody Compensation Plan Highlights. That's what it's called, okay? And it'll talk to you about all the different pipelines of how all this stuff works. And in the beginning, the way that it works is you start off with, as a brand new coach, you start off with retail commissions. That's how you make money, right? If you sell an all access challenge pack, you're bringing in about, $70 from retail, sales on that. So as you sell that, you get some commissions, and that's all good. But really in the end, what's going to fill your bank account up is the ability for you to lock in the duplication, right? I don't want to make this all about money. It's not all about money. Like if you go out and you help more people, then again, you make more money. But I want you guys to be aware of how your business works. As you put on the CEO hat of your business, you have to say, okay, how do I, make this work for my business, right? How do I make more income for me? And utilize that Beachbody Compensation Plan Highlights sheet as something that's going to help you move forward, right? That's going to help you achieve the goals you're really looking for. The next one really is team cycle bonuses. What I'm trying to say here is that as you get more of your coaches going out there and selling challenge packs and recruiting more people underneath them, they're going out and building your army with you, for you, right? the number of people that are underneath you are growing. They're all out there helping people live more healthy and fulfilling lives. That's really when you unlock success for your business, right? But at first, you got to lead from the front. You've got to stay in phase one. You got to continue rocking your business. Now, if you're not careful, you can get pulled into team management mode, and that's exactly where you don't want to be. So I'm just going to warn you guys right now about that. You start to recruit coaches, and you're like, yes, my team is growing. Things are fantastic. I love it. And then all of a sudden, you're like, what? Sally said she's going to quit? Heck no. Then all of a sudden, you're like, I got to spend more time with my team. And then before you know it, you're not finding new challengers. You're not having, more people come to your challenge group. You're not recruiting more people because you're spending all of your time on your team. And what's the best case scenario if you spend all of your time on your team? The best case scenario is your team stays around, right? But you guys don't want to just stick with the amount of people you have on your team. You want to grow, right? So what I'm going to challenge you guys to do is spend at least 80% of your time in phase one, right? In the I do phase. And then you can help, the rest of the 20% of your time in the we do phase with your team, helping them kind of follow along and do the things they need to do to be successful as well, right? But like I said, honestly, if there was just one thing that I would love for, if I could wave that, magical wand over you guys and ask you guys to, remember one thing from this call, it would be build trust with other people and lock in duplication for your business. As you guys do those things, you're going to hit your goals, whether that's recognition based, whether that's helping more people, or whether that's making more money. All of those types of goals will happen as you do those two things. So Christy, that's what I've got for you guys today. I can turn the time back over to you. And if you have more questions or if you have things you'd like to cover, we can do that. We can do a Q&A, or we can just wrap things up.
Okay. Yeah, I have a question that I got from an inbox from a couple different coaches, and they wanted to know how you get 40 people in a free group.
That's
a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. It starts, like I said, with talking with more people, right? Having more people in your friend pipeline, like we talked a little bit about earlier. Doing invites. What I'm going to also challenge you guys to do every single day is do 5 to 10 invites every day. So 5 to 10 invites that can be to your free group, to your actual challenge group, or to coaching. If you don't have a lot of people that are in your free group right now, then you probably don't have a lot of people to invite to challenge groups, right? And same thing with challenger to coach. So most of those invites will be to getting people into your free group. Now, if you do 5 to 10 invites every single day to your free group throughout the month, you're going to have a good number of people in your free group. And you have to build up the excitement about it as well, right? But outside of that, what I would challenge you guys to do is lock in referrals. So as you get people into the free group, just be like, Cindy, thank you so much for joining my free group. This is a really fun atmosphere. I think you're going to absolutely love it. But you want to know what? I would challenge you to get some of your friends or family members into this free group with you, because if you have an awesome peer support system with people that you know and love, it's just going to be that much easier for you to get great results, right? So you ask them to add their friends and family, or you ask them to add people that they would like to have in the free group with them. And most oftentimes they know somebody that would be great to have in the free group with them, but they're not sure if they can invite them, right? All the coaches that I know that get great numbers in their free groups, a lot of them lock in these referral systems. And you can even add that as something that they can get a point for in their point system. Hey, look guys, thanks for joining our free group. We're actually going to be starting up in 4 days. In the meantime, here's how this is going to work. You introduce the point system. As you add friends, you get points as well, blah, 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 blah. And you can ask them to add friends to get more points for their point system. But you lock in those referrals for yourself. But not only that, don't just rely only on that. Do invites. Open your mouth. Talk to people, right? And don't sell yourself short. Like if there's somebody that's like this super beautiful mom that lives on your street that looks like a Stepford wife or whatever, like doesn't matter. Like ask her. Don't be intimidated by her. Like, just say, hey, I would love for you to be in this group. I think it would be really fun to have you there. It's a really fun atmosphere full of women that, are pushing to, lock in their fitness and nutrition. It's just a really fun place to be. It'd be great if you could join. Just get those invites out every single day. Just lock them in. And here's the thing with invites, whether it's to free groups, challenge groups, or coaching, you guys are going to hear no's, right? And no's sometimes are hard pills to swallow. But what I'll tell you is that the more people you talk to, the more people are going to say yes to you. And it's not just our business, it's any business. Anyone in marketing will be able to tell you that the first time you ask somebody to buy a product or to actually do something, usually it doesn't happen. It's usually like the 4th, 5th, 6th time that you've talked with them when they're like, yeah, actually, I think I do want to buy that. Or actually, yeah, I do want to do this activity. So don't feel bad like you're doing something wrong because they've said no to you. Just say, okay, it's not right now for that person, then follow up with them later, okay? Your first free group, you might not have as many people in it. Your second free group, you can reuse the people that are in there. You can say, okay, guys, we're going to be doing our next free group next month on February 5th. You can keep the same Facebook group and all of that. So the people who didn't transition to the Challenger on that first free group will go through the free group again the next month. And then after seeing it again, they'll be like, okay, this is cool. And I actually heard Christy talk about, the actual challenge group being truly where it's at. Like, I think I'm going to do it now. Like a lot of the coaches that I've talked to as they're running these amazing free groups, it's usually like the 3rd or 4th time they've done the free group when they actually transition to a coach. So give yourself a little bit of runway with this. It's not going to just, blow the doors off of your business within the first, 2 weeks that you've implemented the system, right? It's a farming system and it takes a little bit of time. My dad he sells potato harvesting equipment, and he posted up a picture yesterday. It said, being a farmer takes a lot of faith, because they put all these seeds in the ground and they're hoping that the weather is going to be good and it's going to cooperate, and all this stuff is great, and they haven't over fertilized or under fertilized, and there's all these variables, and they have to just sit there and wait and hope that their crop and harvest is good. And honestly, that's similar to what you guys are doing right now. You've got to plant all these seeds, you've got to follow up, you've got to do what you can to make sure that your seeds sprout into something that you're, the fruit that you're looking for. But it takes some time for that to happen. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. It's kind of a long answer to a short question. Any other questions, Christy? You guys can type up if you guys have any other questions as well.
My little guy was talking to me. Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, we just moved into our new home, and a lot of work, with 3 kids, just unpacking boxes, getting rid of stuff and things. And I took 10 days off, and I've made Success Club 10 for 4 years in a row now, or more. And I didn't. It's kind of weird, but I don't I want to keep it up, to try to always do, and just so I can know that I'm constantly doing what I'm supposed to do personally. And so I just prayed. I'm like, okay, God, I need some extra help this month, because I'm not doing all the invites like I normally do, like inviting, 5 new friends a day on Facebook. And that's where I get all my people and get more people into free groups, is I'm constantly inviting friends of friends every day, like Monday through Friday. So I've been doing this for 6 years now. I'm hitting my anniversary next week for 6 years. I've never ran out of my warm market, because I'm constantly inviting friends of friends, and that's how I'm making success, because all these fresh people are seeing my stuff for the first time, and they're like, oh, I want help. And I do referrals where I have people that don't want to be coaches. I'm like, come on, you should be a coach, and they keep referring me people, and I will give them $20 a referral. If they refer me somebody and they buy, then I give them $20. I don't do that for everybody, but there's certain people that are constantly bringing me people. So I'm like, I'm going to start paying you for this, because you brought me 6 or 7 people. And just, or you can do a fun thing where if they invite 5 of their friends in a free group, then you can give them a $5 Amazon gift card or something, or, you know what I mean? But anyways, it's just, I guess what I wanted to say is, I hit Success Club 14 just by people actually getting a hold of me this month. Like I only did one post this whole month because I've been just wanting to get my life organized and get all unpacked and everything. And I had like Wyatt's, my 8-year-old, a mom, a little girl in his class, his second grade class. She said, I've been watching your Facebook post for 2.5 years. I've never liked anything. I've never commented, but I'm ready. I'm ready. And so she signed up to be a coach. And even though she's not been in a challenge group, so some of my best coaches, I mean, it's okay to sign up coaches right away if it's going to save them money on Shakeology, but you want to treat them just like a customer and go through the steps. They need to know how to be in, they need to know what it's like to be in a challenge group. They need to know what it's like to take the training, they need to take the training. Then you need to treat that person. They need to go through and see results first, so they have belief in the product. So I signed her up as a coach. Then I had somebody else get a hold of me. I've been watching you for 3 years. Never liked your stuff. I'm ready. And so she signed it. So like literally person after person. I've been watching you for this many years. I've never liked your stuff. And so people are watching you guys, like literally, like I'm like, wait, you've never even liked one post of mine and you're ready? Like, that's so exciting. So I mean, when I really needed it the most, it just seems like they've just been coming from like being years of being consistent and like never taking my foot off the brake. Like, because if you take your foot off the brake, you disappear for 6 months, people are going to think you're out of it. And they're going to go to someone else because, you know, they want somebody that really knows that they're going to be there tomorrow for them. So
100%. I think that's absolutely right. You know, I think about this quote and I say it all the time, but Walt Disney says, or would say to his people at the theme parks, do whatever you do so well that people will want to see it again and bring their friends, right? So as you go out there and you change people's lives and you make an impact and you're really crushing it and truly helping people out, more people will come to you because they're going to say, you know what, Robert's my guy, or Stacy's my girl, or Jessica's my girl, because I know that this person can help me. I know that this person's helped tons of other people before, right? They're going to pick you because they saw what you've done for other people. And that happens with Christy. I know it happens with Christy. And I'm sure it'll all happen for you guys as well. Maybe it is already starting to happen for you guys. But honestly, I truly love this business. I came to this business because I saw the results. You know, my friend asked me to look into working at Beachbody. I went to Super Saturday. I saw how prolific the results were with all the people that were attending there. I was like, holy smokes, man. This is absolutely phenomenal that your products have been able to change people's lives in such a huge way. You guys make a huge difference. All right. And I'm just going to challenge you guys. We've got Beachbody On Demand All Access on sale right now. And we've got all these awesome opportunities. What I'm just going to challenge you guys to do is 10x what you're doing. Blow the doors off of the challenge groups this year. Get as many people in there as you can because you do change people's lives. You know, when I go around and talk with people, it's awesome to hear where they started and where they are now. You know, I talk with coaches who are down 175 pounds, who are down 120 pounds, who are down 80 pounds, down 40 pounds, whatever it is. Those are life-changing numbers, right? You guys make huge differences in people's lives. So go out there and get them. Be confident. Have those conversations. Invite people. Get more conversations going. As you guys do that on a day-to-day basis, your business will go where you want it to go.
And everyone on this call, I see every single person on this call. Everyone on this call is a rock star. Like, you guys are all amazing. I 100% believe in every single one of you on this call. I'm looking at all of you and you're reading your names, and I can personally say with honesty that you guys, I believe in every one of you. And you guys are totally have what it takes. And so you just need to keep believing in yourself and believing, just keep going forward, you know. And I had my second coach that said she wanted to do it seriously as a business quit on me. And I was like, if I would have said, oh man, I'm just not any good at this, you know, then I would have lost out on all this. You just keep moving forward and you don't like look at what anybody else is doing. You just keep working on yourself and your business and just keep working on your results. And that's all in staying consistent.
Hey,
100%.
Christy, can I ask a question?
Yeah, who's
Sure.
this?
This is Lori.
Hey, Lori.
I'm just on my phone. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe. Really great information. Thank you. It actually makes me feel good because I'm doing all of those things, so it makes me feel like I'm on the right track. I'm a 2-star. I have 5 diamonds, but I'm just a 2-star. But my main question is, so for these top coaches that you work with, I have to assume that some of them are running ads, whether it be Instagram ads or Facebook ads, and I'm assuming that those ads are more towards getting people in their free groups. Can you elaborate on that at all, or could you share with us anything you know about additional ads that they may be
Sure.
doing?
I will tell you this much about ads, that I talk with very few coaches who feel like they've figured it out. Okay. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them are like, do these ads, and these guys from like Pakistan are wanting to join my challenge group. You know what I mean? And nothing against people from Pakistan, but like we're not open there, and they probably aren't fitting in on the vibe. Don't know if they speak English, like, so they oftentimes run into issues like that. Right. When you're running ads, what I would recommend that you do is that you focus on 3 things, and that is values, beliefs, and behaviors that you want those people to have, right? Because if you say, hey, I want these girls who like dogs, it's like, well, you're going to get people from all walks of life and all types of people who like dogs, right? Not that it's a bad thing. You could refine your ads a little bit to go to people who like dogs, but you're going to get a very mixed bag of things coming towards you. The reason why I say to utilize values, beliefs, and behaviors is things that will dictate who your ads go to, is because that's really what defines a culture. I looked up the definition of culture, and it's values, beliefs, and behaviors that are passed on from one generation to the next.
So you're talking about for your targeting, when you're targeting who you're
targeting your ads to. Exactly right.
Okay, not necessarily.
Yeah, and
no, that's a really good point, because I would tend to pick just like moms of a certain age, and that have certain like over average household. Like I would pick like somebody with above average spending, but like that. So maybe more pick somebody that likes like Joel Osteen, or somebody that it's more based on their values.
Values and their behaviors as well, right?
Gotcha.
What they're willing to do. In fact, a tip that I got from Amy Silverman just like 2 or 3 days ago is she said that she goes out and markets her ad, like the way she posts her ads and stuff is she's really directing her her posts and everything she does towards hard workers. Like that, something that will appeal towards hard workers, because if you're not willing to work hard in this business, then you're not going to be successful, right? In any business, really, like in any business in life, when are you going to be highly successful by doing no work? It doesn't exist. It's not, that's a fallacy. It's a pipe dream, right? So you want to find people who are willing to work hard with their fitness, who are willing to work hard with their nutrition, who are willing to work hard in their normal job. These types of people, or even education or whatever they pursue, like those are behaviors and maybe values of that group of people. So she tries to, market all of her posts, whether they're paid or not, to people who are hard workers, right? So just something to think about. Like if you make it super general, you'll get super general results, right? So you got to really identify who it is exactly that you're looking for. And I wouldn't say the age group and gender and all that stuff is bad, but you'd also want to add a few more, filters onto your, who you're targeting your ads towards. But I will say that what works for one coach and what works for another won't necessarily work for you, right? You've got your own team, your own vibe, your own culture that you're wanting to create on your team. Like an Amy Silverman culture is not a Christy Moore culture. They're just different, but those types of things are things that you can lock into your ads that will work for everyone. I would say honestly that they do help. but I would not rely super heavily on them, because I haven't talked with a ton of coaches who have really truly figured it out on a high level, to be honest.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better too, because I don't feel like I have it figured out either.
Yeah, I've only talked to a few, and the people who have figured it out, like, again, that's their specific vibe and tribe. So like what works for them might not work for you or anyone else. You know what I mean? So it's a very subjective thing. It's kind of a hard one to completely answer effectively, but values, beliefs, behaviors are the three things that I would recommend that you think about when looking at doing ads. Any other questions before we wrap things up? All right, my friends. Well, thank you so much for having me today. Honestly, I believe in all of you guys. Keep on rocking it out. Keep on, pushing forward and helping other people and your business.
Thank you, Joe. And I'm going to have you guys all stay in the call because I have some prizes that I want to hand out. So I think
Christy.
it's kind of fun.
Okay, we'll catch you later. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No, you can't have my chicken broth. Oh.
Hi, Fran. We just heard you. Okay. So I wrote this down before y'all got on the call because, hi, Rob. Yeah. They can hear, honey. I wrote this down so that way before, because I love all of you and I wanted to be fair. Because I didn't think I'd have enough time to put everybody's name like in a bowl and pick out. But I'm doing a prize for the first person on the call. And I'm doing a prize for the 10th person on the call. And I'm doing a prize for the person who asked the most questions. So I'm going to mail that out to you guys. Right here, we got the 21-day fix-it cup, and we got some hats and clothes and all kinds of good stuff. And we have the first person that was on the call, and she was on like 20 minutes early, so we got to have a conversation, is Tana Anderson. And then we have, I'm just going to mail out a gift to both of them because I didn't know like who got on the 10th. I couldn't keep track. It was either Stacy or Melinda, so I'm just going to give you guys both a gift. So Stacy and Melinda, I'm just going to mail you guys out both a gift because you guys pretty much tied. And then Lori asked the most questions, so I'm going to mail her out a gift too. So anyways, I appreciate you guys for getting on. And yeah, did you guys have any questions at all about his call or?
No questions, but it was a lot of good information.
Hey, honey. My kids are like, that's so cool. Yay. So anybody else? Do you think you have any questions? I'm glad that you guys are on. And anytime, I like the visual that he gave, and we talked about this. I sign up, if I can sign up everybody as a coach first, I will, because I feel like they stay on Shakeology longer, but I treat them exactly like a customer until I can get them in a challenge group. They have to see results, and then I will treat them like a coach. So I still do what he's talking about pretty much, but I wait until they start seeing results, they get in a challenge group, that kind of thing. Somebody's blinkers on in there. There we go. Hey, Rob, do you have any input?
Yeah, I think Fran's broth is ready. My eyes are still tearing up from laughing at.
Yeah, we ended up having 20 people on the call. That was good.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think it's important that what he was talking about, the what did he call it? The me time and the us time. What did he call it?
The I do and the we do.
The I do and the we do, yes. It's so easy once you have a lot of we's to spend 80% of your time doing the we do and then 19% of your time doing, Netflix, and then 1% of your time doing the I do because you get comfortable you end up sitting on your laurels and collecting your paycheck and helping out your team. It's so easy to get stuck in that once everything grows. But then what happens is you run out of fresh blood. You run out of what got you there in the first place, and it's going to take me a good dozen more years to get to the point where I think that I will be able to retire. So there's no switching it until then. I got to get back to the 80% I do and 20% we do. And it doesn't have to be an awful lot. I mean, you legit can do this for, you guys may not have 5 hours a day, but if you put 4 hours a day into it and then put an hour into your team, that's a heck of a lot of time. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk would tell you that that's nothing after your real job. You do your 9 to 5, paying your bills, and then you work 7 to 12 or 7 to 11 or 7 to 1, working on your dreams. But anyway, I think we all just have to stick into that 80-20. We all have to be getting the fresh blood. We know how it goes. When I was working a real job, I would have to hire a lot of people to get a couple people that were worth keeping around, and I think Joe had mentioned a numbers game, and if you're comfortable with the numbers, the word no doesn't bother you. You look forward to it because you get closer to your yeses. You get better at what you do, better at sharing your story. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on what Joe had to share.
What you were talking about, I just had, another call with Patrick.
Realman, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys were on his call or not, but if you listen to his recording, but I really liked how he goes, like he's built this whole business on, he goes for 5 no's a day, and like he'll go for people that he thinks for sure are going to say no, and then people that he least expects say yes, and then he'll say, oh, dang it, now I got to keep asking more people. So I thought that, man, that's a really good idea, and he's built an extremely, extremely successful business, and he's got a very large team because of that rule.
Yeah, Patrick's also one of the guys in my group where we work with Green Beret. I don't know if you guys have any idea what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. But one of the biggest challenges that we've had is nailing down your stories, and which is, your reason for doing everything that you're doing in life, your why, and getting all of that together in a concise, very inspiring story, and he's really good at it. Patrick is really good at it. We need to get that guy in the call again.
I see him every year at leadership, and he's done 2 calls for our team, and I'm like, seriously, like everyone loved you, and you did the most amazing, like I think he's probably my very favorite person to ever get on a call, and so like he was booked up for 4 months, not because he was doing calls, but because he travels the world. Like that's all he does is travel. Like that's what he wants to do, and he can work beach body from like India or from wherever. Like he just travels everywhere, and he just is really enjoying his life. And so I finally got him nailed down to last week I had him on a call, but I'll probably get him on a call maybe once every 6 months. I don't know. But he's a very, very nice person. Did a good job. And he, I don't know if you guys have listened to the recording, but it's amazing. Like I have it on my YouTube channel. His name's Patrick, and it's the very last call that was recorded. It was amazing. Like I took 7 pages of notes. It's just great reminders. And between this call and that call, like it's just, he just keeps it super simple. Like it's super simple. You know what I mean? And I guess I don't really run out of people because I'm constantly adding people onto my Facebook. And once I reach the 5,000 people, then I'm going to have to delete probably like 500 to 800 coaches unless they're on my team, because they'll be able to see my stuff, just to make more room. But I mean, I constantly adding new people to my personal Facebook page, and they're, you know what I mean? They're just, those are the people that are ordering from me and turning into coaches. The people that I want to sign up as a coach, like I have my dream team of people that I really want to be my coach. I will, you know what I mean? I will go personally on their Facebook, and I make sure that I'm commenting on their stuff and constantly having, you know, interaction with these people. You know what I mean? I have a whole list of people that I go through every day, and I'll comment on their stuff. So that way they can see my stuff. I know I mean, everyone on this call that's my personally sponsored coach, like I totally was like, I want them on my team. You know, I was like, I have to have them. They're awesome. And I think every one of you, and I think, oh my gosh, like I'm so proud of all the coaches that signed up, all of that are not my person, because I'm like, you guys are all amazing. And it's so exciting. We all just make this fantastic team, all this together. Can't do it one-on-one, but we just need to stay strong, and we're all in it together. Like we're all together. We're all in it to help each other and to be able to keep growing. So, right, Rob?
Hey, Rob.
Oh, my kids just said hi.
You call me your kid?
Oh, I'm sorry, my teenager, my 13-year-old.
Oh boy. I see that they're loving the new house.
They are. They're hopping around.